Welcome to Oceanic and Polar Experts. In this episode, we'll talk about the impacts of internal waves on submarines and sonar systems. Sonar systems are vital for submarine operations, providing capabilities for navigation, communication, and object detection. As the primary technology for underwater acoustic signal transmission, sonar is divided into two types, passive and active. Passive sonar listens for sounds emitted by vessels, while active sonar sends out sound pulses and analyzes the returning echoes. Both types rely heavily on sound propagation through water, a process that can be significantly affected by environmental factors. One factor disrupting sonar efficiency is internal waves. Subsurface waves occurring between water layers of different densities. These waves can severely impact sound transmission, posing challenges for submarines and impairing sonar system performance. Internal waves create fluctuations in how sound travels underwater, making sonar detections less reliable. These waves can bend, scatter, or block sound waves, leading to inaccurate readings and missed detections. For submarines that depend on sonar to detect other vessels or navigate safely, this interference can be particularly problematic. The fluctuating nature of sound caused by internal waves means that a submarine's ability to track or avoid threats is compromised, making the underwater environment even more unpredictable. The hazards posed by internal waves go beyond sonar interference. They can also directly affect a submarine's stability and maneuverability. A famous example is the sinking of the nuclear submarine USS Thresher in 1963. The vessel was lost during a routine test dive, and no severe weather conditions were reported to explain the tragedy. Many scientists believe that internal waves might be the cause. These waves can cause a submarine to drop suddenly to greater depth as the craft slides down the back of a towering internal wave, especially if the submarine's size is comparable to the wavelength. The dangers of internal waves have been recognized by Navy for decades. During World War II, submarines were known to avoid areas with significant internal wave activity, such as the Strait of Gibraltar, due to the risks involved. The unpredictability of internal waves in these regions made navigation difficult, and submarines could be destabilized or pulled down without warning. The US Navy and the Soviet Navy took these threats seriously during the Cold War, conducting research and reporting on incidents where internal waves were suspected of causing submarine accidents. In a report by the US Navy, internal waves were described as uncontrollable forces capable of sinking submarines, highlighting their unpredictable and dangerous nature. However, you may think that, if internal waves are so dangerous to submarines, why have I barely seen them in submarine movies? While there are accidents attributed to internal waves, they are very uncommon. Internal waves occur at a depth in the ocean where there are sharp changes in temperature, thermoclines, or salinity, haloclines. Submarines usually operate below them at considerable depths, minimizing their exposure to internal waves. The internal waves they encounter are therefore usually small, and they are unlikely to result in severe damage. In conclusion, internal waves influence submarine safety and operational efficiency. Their impact on sonar systems can lead to misjudgments in navigation and detection, while the physical effects could pose direct risks to submarine stability. But don't stress out. Those accidents mentioned before are very occasional. Thank you for listening. See you next time.